Welcome back to JH Strategies, where we talk about the latest and greatest crypto news and much, much more. So we had some busy days on the market. We just had one day off from videos, but we're going to hop on in and show you what's going on inside the crypto markets today. Are you guys ready to go live and push it? Let's get with it. Okay, guys, let's hop on over. We're going to utilize CMC. We're going to take a look at some news feeds, okay? We're going to take a look at the charts, all right? And then we're going to get live and rocking with you guys inside the chat for anything that you guys got going on for the day today, okay? And then, as you know, mad love to all you guys out there chilling, rocking and rolling, and getting with it. So you can see we have some crypto stuff on the horizon going on there, and you got it. Like button. Okay, and then let me go ahead and hit with it, dropping inside our socials. You can get all those links inside the descriptions and much more. And we're just gonna go ahead and drop these so everybody can get with it, so they can get our news today. And let's yeah, so we're spreading the word out there for you guys. Okay, you guys can get with it. Okay, so yep, we are in our socials, we are rocking, we are pushing, and we are getting with it. Okay, all right, so we're utilizing coin market cap. Everybody say when? CMC. So we're going to utilize this, and you know what, we're going to hop back and forth from CMC to CG. If any of you guys like either one, just let me know, and we could utilize different ones so we can show you guys how they work and how they're rocking. So today in the crypto market, what is happening? Today's overall cryptocurrency market cap is $1,032.8 billion. Okay, 24-hour volume thus far is 28.7 billion. Bitcoin dominates 47.9%. Ethereum dominates 19.3%. ETH gas at 24 GUI right now. So this is stuff that we're paying attention to. The global crypto market, okay, is up 1.13% increase over the past day, so up 1% on the day. So that's something that we pay attention to the overall crypto market, being that it's at a $1 trillion market cap evaluation. Okay, Bitcoin king in the house, Big Daddy Bitcoin number one. Bitcoin coming in at $25,643. The past 24 hours up 2.5%. Okay, and the overall Bitcoin market cap right now is at $496.7 billion. So we're behind that and below that $500 billion mark. Okay, $14.1 billion in volume so far today on Bitcoin. All right, Ethereum coming in at $1,668. Past 24 hours up 1.7%. $200.7 billion market cap, $5.8 billion in volume. USDT, a lot of stuff happening with these stable coins, and as we've been shown and we've been talking about it, we're watching what's going on. Look at this, USDT, $83.462 billion. All right, so $83.4 billion market cap, $21.2 billion in volume, okay, today so far. All right, so this is something that we're paying attention to inside the markets for you guys. So we got BNB coming in at $237.16. Past 24 hours up 1.7%. Okay, $36.9 billion market cap, $485 million in volume. All right, USDC, your second top stable coin. Okay, $28.2 billion market cap, $3.4 billion in volume today. So we can see what's happening with that. Your XRP daddy's in the house. XRP at 46 cents. To the downside today, actually 2.4%, $24.1 billion market cap, $1.1 billion in volume. And like we've been showing and rocking out with you guys thus far up to here, you can see that volume moving on XRP being utilized on RippleNet as the transfer of value, which is very interesting, and it's something that we're paying attention to for the overall crypto markets, because this could be something that's really good to hold in your portfolios. Cardano, ADA, sitting at 25 cents. Past 24 hours, 0.4% to the downside. $9 billion market cap. $191 million in volume. Dogecoin, number 8 spot. Doge, 6 cents. So towards the bottom part of 6 cents. So it's 6.1. All right. Past 24 hours, 0.6% to the upside. $8.5 billion market cap, $183 million in volume. All right. Tron sitting in your number 9 spot. Okay. So Tron sitting at 6 cents. Okay. Past 24 hours, 1.25% towards the downside. $6.2 billion market cap, $168 million in volume. All right, number 10, you got Solano sitting at $14.75. Past 24 hours, 0.8% towards the upside. Look at that. And $5.8 billion market cap, $231 million in volume. And as you can see, Cardano and the other altcoins actually took a hit on the 7-day, all right, for the past week. Okay, and you can see Solano 21% for the week. Cardano 18%, all right, and then your other ones are just above 10%, okay? And then we always look down to Litecoin because we know the script mining, and you know, for all of our miner people out there and all of our guys that rock out with us inside the chats, you know that script mining is where it was at, rocking with the Doge miners. So that's why we pay attention to Litecoin too, because it's definitely a utilized coin. Litecoin sitting at $75.17. Okay, past 24 hours, 2.1% towards the upside, $5.4 billion market cap. Then you got Polygon Matic, and we always come back to this because we're watching the liquidity on Polygon, and we're going to see where the market cap's moving and opportunities. So right now, because the 7-day, take a look at this, Polygon sitting at 57 cents. Past 24 hours, 2.9% towards the downside. Past 7 days, 25.2% towards the downside. $5.3 billion market cap, $562 million in volume. All right, and then we're going to take a look actually at your Shiba. People ask for the Shiba, so look, Shiba Inu, past 24 hours, 1.5% towards the upside. So you have Shiba at 0 and then a 0.00006698. All right, $3.9 billion market cap, $62 million in volume, and something that we've been pinning towards and against Shiba Inu is Pepe. We'll look at that in a second actually. BUSD has $4.3 billion market cap, $2.3 billion in volume today for BUSD. But what I wanted to see in meme coin volume-wise, okay, because they have Shiba Net and Testnet just past 200 million transactions on PuppyNet, and this is the blockchain for Shiba Inu. So they are building on that. So it could be something that really comes back strong with utilized tools on a blockchain that utilizes Shiba Inu as the main proprietary and native token to that blockchain. Let's see what the volume is on your top trending token. Okay, look, it's $136.9 million in volume. All right, and obviously you see some upwards movement into these meme coins because people are taking advantage of those different opportunities. All right, so that's something that everybody always shouts out and asks, what is going on with that market? Okay, and then the dominance levels actually dropped a little bit. We're going to actually show you that on the charts, and we're going to talk about crypto news. The reason that we're having an actual push at a pump in the market right now, okay, BlackRock actually files for ETF spot. All right, this would be the first ETF spot in the United States for Bitcoin. All right, so they have futures, all that kind of stuff, but a spot, okay, which is 1-for-1 for Bitcoin on an ETF, which would actually be very bullish for Bitcoin and allow the different industries and big institutions to utilize different funding and putting into Bitcoin, thus growing over the years and growing the market caps as we go along for bigger market cap valuations. So there's definitely big news out in the market for you guys rocking. All right, so Bitcoin, okay, we're taking a look at the 1-hour chart right here on Bitcoin. Okay, we're utilizing an indicator called Traders Reality. You can get this indicator by typing in Traders Reality. It's an indicator that is utilized with a bunch of different indicators in one and coded for the markets. it tells you the different times of day, okay, in the different sessions and trading sessions. As you can see, Sydney, Tokyo, UK. All right, so Sydney, London, Sydney, Tokyo, London, and then New York sessions. Okay, so the busiest times of day and the most volatile times of day are the starting of the day, the first 30 minutes of the sessions, end of the sessions. So this is a good tool to be utilized as far as seeing your different sessions and tradings of the day. You know what I mean? It has your psychological highs and low levels, and that's for your weekly psychological lows and highs, pivot zones, and also your EMAs and your moving averages. And I'm also taking a look at the volume, because we just had a candle close before that had some strong volume on the backside of it. Okay, so that's something that we're paying attention to in the markets. All right, so Bitcoin, and we're looking at the 1 hour right now, and actually on this next candle that we're into, actually it's about 11 minutes into this candle, but we actually wicked out below this 50 EMA, but we closed right at it at that $25,500 range, and then that gave way to some bullish momentum towards the upside. And as you can see, and guys, don't forget to swing on over to Twitter, follow, hit it, because we drop our information as it goes in the crypto market. And as you can see, we were telling you on the wicks out and different support trend lines and information, and I said 1 hour candle below 25,480. All right, we'll make the trend line from support to resistance, but the next leg, 26,600 on the horizon. All right, and the moving averages, which you can see. So the 200 EMA sitting right here at that $25,900 range, 25,600, because that's a psychological high. So if we do see some actual momentum and trading in the markets and bullish towards the upside, so we're looking and utilizing and seeing volume, okay, and that it will indicate, is this push actually something that is beneficial to the markets overall as a whole. All right, as you know, right before we actually had this news in the market, there was some sell-offs on Bitcoin, which gave way to an opportunity to buy in, and we were stating, everybody says, oh no, Bitcoin's going to go down to 200K, but we were sitting at these different levels. All right, so we will hop over and show you those levels. But real quick, let's go ahead and show you what's happening over here. Bitcoin dominance, as you can see, people were taking heavy advantage of the lower prices and buying in heavy into Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is almost at 50% of the total crypto market. All right, so if we push over 51%, and then even Michael Saylor was saying on Twitter, it could hit up to 80%, but that's some, astrological numbers, some crazy numbers that would be sitting in the crypto market. But this is something that we definitely pay attention to, and people actually have been taking advantage of those dips in the market to buy into Bitcoin. Dominance pulling up. Now your stable coins on the sidelines, as you can see, when we had a big heavy dip in Bitcoin, big movements into the dominance of the stable coin. All right, and then when we had this movement, you can see that they're laddering back into crypto, okay, because of the news that's out there, and the strength being that big companies are going to be able to support Bitcoin with this spot ETF news out there. All right, BlackRock is one of the biggest company that holds the most companies in asset management. All right, and Goldman Sachs is one of them. And guess what? The SEC, Gary, good old Gary, he worked for Goldman Sachs for decades. So definitely, stuff that we have to pay attention to out there on the crypto market. So we're going to be watching these different dominance levels to see where we're going. Okay. Now, in the general overall markets, you can see that actually the S&P has been performing pretty well, and it's actually extended on some of these charts above these moving averages. All right, so we're just going to pay attention to the day-to-day. It could come back to these areas, which will lead to some volatile stuff happening in the market, but that's what you have to pay attention to overall anyway. So coming over into these areas is definitely beneficial. U.S. 10-year bonds, you can see as we were up and we pulled towards the downside, it's actually having some strength here, so they're trying to strengthen the dollar, and we'll talk about that, okay? Now, on the daily, let's go ahead and hop into the longer term, because we can look at the 4 hour and actually see, okay, when we actually pulled towards the downside, we actually came right back to that bottom wick here, at that 24,770 or 775, that area, and then we had a pull towards the upside. So we actually did, after we had this little bit of a lower, now we have a higher low that's on the 4 hour chart, so we're going to be seeing where these levels close. Okay, So the 800 EMA, the 50 actually crossed over. So this has a couple areas of resistance at that 25,880 range, which is going to be a heavy area of resistance when we do hit that area. If we do, as you see what's happening in the market, because we're actually at 25,656 at this current moment, okay? And trading sessions, we actually been trading, and we weren't pulling above this 50 EMA. You see how we kept wicking out. We came up to the 200, and we haven't pulled above it, all right? We want to start to close candles above that 50 EMA on the 4 hour, all right? And that would give us our flip towards the bullish side. And then you can also pay attention to what's happening in the volume, okay? Now, on the daily chart, and as we were speaking, and if you go back, and for you guys that have been following along, we stated, hey, we're going to come back to this 200 EMA, which we did. We came back to our 200 EMA. We hit our target levels. We did close some candles below it, and we did say that if we close candles below it, we can have some lower targets in the range. But now we're back above this on the daily. So if we do close above these wicked areas, that would be beneficial for Bitcoin now that there's news out there in the market that's actually going to benefit, okay, and let Bitcoin flourish, all right? So that's when we can actually see these volumes come into play, all right? Volume was actually really heavy when Bitcoin was towards the downside, but you can see volume actually started picking up at certain times. So that's something that we're going to pay attention also to in the markets, all right? And we're going to see what's happening on a volatile day. You know, after FOMC, which happens on Wednesday, you usually have like a down day and then a rally day, you know, because of the different meetings and stuff like that. So that's, you know, definitely patterns that we were following in the long term. Okay, so we were actually checking that out. All right, so let's go ahead and hop over to Ethereum for you ETH guys out there. This is ETH on the 1 hour chart. Okay, and you can see as we pull below, we were hitting that 50, and that was heavy resistance, you know, ever since we had some FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt out in the markets, okay, allowing for opportunities. As I was saying, when we traded sideways, those were opportunities to pick up, and then, hey, just another area to ladder in to pick up again. And we were stating our levels. We said, hey, 1650 was a level that we were going to hit, and we actually did come down to those target ranges, laddering in for Ethereum. So definitely beneficial and bullish for you guys that have been following along and watching these sessions. Now on the 1 hour, we do starting to have an uptrend, okay, but I want to see us closing above this 50 EMA at $1,675 range. So I want to start seeing 1 hour candles close above that range in these different sessions. And as you can see, it does have a trend moving towards the upside, kind of in this channel for an upward trend. So this is something that we're going to pay attention to. Now if we start closing above that 50, okay, the next targets that I would be looking at is at those psychological levels and the EMAs. $1,735 would be a bullish range that I would look for, all right? When we did wick out, you can see heavy sell-offs on that area, okay? But that $1,620 on the bearish side is still in the cards if we can't pull above these moving averages. And then this is just some played out news play, okay? But it could be bullish into the weekend for some high volatility, all right? So that's what we're looking at. Now we'll go into the longer term. We'll just hop right into the daily to show you guys. So we were talking about hitting that 200 EMA, and we said if we close below it, we're going to be at these zones, in which we actually ended up doing, and we ended up hitting right there at the 1,650, and that's exactly what we talked about in a couple videos ago. And we did hit that target, and that's the bottom of our candle bodies, as you can see, the bottom of the candle bodies, and then we wicked out, so that's what the candles were closing, okay? So that 200 moving average on the daily, 1,725, all right? So on a bullish mark, all right, if we do hit on those smaller time frames, close candles above the 50 on the 1 hour, okay, make higher lows on the 4 hour, and then that will continue us for bullish momentum towards the upside to start closing these candles. Now, on the daily, the 50 did cross back over the 800 EMA, which is something that is giving us resistance in the market for Ethereum overall. All right, so you can see volume did pick off some selling volume, so we want to see some buying volume coming in on that. Ethereum does respect levels pretty good for its trading, All right, people were talking about the head and shoulders pattern, so we pretty much pulled below that neckline into those areas where we were talking about. Okay, now if we do pull back towards the downside and close the candle below the $1,650 range, okay, our next heavy support would be at that $1,530 range. Okay, so those are some targets that I would be watching out for, but I don't think we're going to be really seeing any crazy pulling towards the downside because of the news that's sitting out there in the market today, on a Friday, on a volatile day. All right, so we can definitely see what's happening in that market for you guys. Okay. All right, now we're gonna hop into BNB. Let's swing back to our 1 hour time frame, so that way we can just give you guys the most information at the moment. Binance, okay? Binance resumes withdrawals on the U.S. sector. Okay, it's kind of like, hey, I'm sorry. And, you know, big volatility in the market. BNB from 300 down to the low 200 ranges. All right, and it's been picking up some volatility and going from swing highs to swing lows, as you can see in the psychological levels. All right, so BNB right now is sitting, and we're actually playing in this candle in the 1 hour at that 50 EMA, $235 range, you know, in that area. So this is something that we would pay attention to, but we are actually having a little bit of higher lows here and somewhat of a trend towards the upside after breaking inside these little trends, you know. That's happening over here. Psychological high at that 240, okay? So expect resistance at that area, because after we did fall from some play moves over here, we did actually not see any movements or breaks above the psychological high at that 240 range. All right, so that's something that we want to pay attention to in the overall, you know, idea for BNB. Okay, let's just hop right into the daily for BNB so you can see on a longer term what is happening here. So what is going on for BNB? These moving averages are really tight, okay, and you can see volume heavy coming in on BNB on these sell-offs. So we actually, it looks kind of messy actually on the daily, okay. The 50 crossed over to 800, 200's turned down, all right, but we actually want to see some momentum and actually pulling towards the upside. So we are actually pretty far away from those moving averages, so that's something that I'm paying attention to for Binance on the daily, because that's where we want to see our strength in the markets overall, especially for, you know, BNB. All right, XRP, like we were saying, look at that. Our 200 moving average, we said was in the cards. We are coming down towards that level at that 45 cents. We actually haven't hit it yet. You know, down to 45 cents even, which was 45 and a half. We actually did hit. All right, so that is something that we're paying attention to. All right, the 50 EMA at that 48-cent level. All right, so we do see some bullish momentum, okay, depending on where these closing ranges are, but we are in between these two moving average areas, okay, which we're swinging from right now. All right, and this is overall on the daily. We've been actually trading between the 200 and the 800 for quite some time. Okay, so expect us to tap, pull, and swing back above it. And then we're going to pay attention to see when we're going to start closing up above those areas, because we got above the 200, and you see what happens when we're hitting resistance. And this is a longer term outlook, okay? Straight trend towards the downside, all right? And straight trend towards the downside for XRP, and then you got yourself pulling back above the moving average on the 200, okay, which gives you the giveaway to bring yourself back in between the 800 and the 200 moving average, okay. So that is something that we're paying attention to in the market, okay? Now the DXY, look at this, the dollar index DXY actually pulling towards the downside. And when that happens, especially in stretches like this, you actually see some strength in the cryptocurrency market, okay? So that's something that you also pay attention to also for overall, so you can see what's going on, okay? Something I didn't actually hop into is, let's look at the total overall crypto market, okay? So we're trading below these moving averages now, okay? And then a heavy support range area that we can see trading for BNB, okay? I mean, not BNB, for the total overall crypto market. All right, big support right there, right below the 1 trillion mark. Okay, so we're right above that 1 trillion mark. So that's something that we need to pay attention to overall. You guys on the Doge heads, you could see that moving average is turned down. We haven't made it back above that area, so we are pretty far extended on the daily ranges for that. Let's take a look at your Matic, okay, for you guys. Now you could see, you know, taking advantage of the opportunities, but as you can see, the wick on the bottom of that, the 50-cent level range, all right, and you know, from the downward movement. So we're paying attention to this because on the daily, especially overextended and pulled towards the downside, is definitely stuff that I would pay attention to on the long term. Okay, so Matic. Yep, 57. Now, since I've been talking about it a while, let's go ahead and take a look because this is something that I wanted to play into. All right, so I'm going to pay attention to this and give you guys my outlook and tell you what I am seeing here on these time frames. And as you know, when I was telling you before, at the 55-cent level, right when it goes to that mark, so it was like 55.9, 55.8. So right when we hit right below that 55-cent level, picking up Matic, okay? Now, what I'm paying attention to is right now on the 1 hour time frame for Matic, because we like to watch the 1 hour when we're doing longer term trades, daily, weekly, for you traders out there. And then also from an investment perspective, you can see that we've been below this 50 on the 1 hour, okay? So this is where I pick up, all right, and dollar cost average and ladder in. All right, so let me give you an example, okay? So when you're going to do a ladder in, try in 3 parts. So say you have, let's say you have $100, all right? Divide that into 3, 33, you know, 33, we'll just say 33, or you can do 35, you know, just to make it whatever. And then when you see different points, okay, if you're using the indicators and you see these, I'm going to make it simple for you guys. When you see these red candles, all right, when you see that happen, you want to be buying when the market's dipping. So if you start seeing it go up and you're catching into FOMO, fear of missing out, FOMO, F-O-M-O, fear of missing out, all right, and you're buying into FOMO on these green upsides, okay, you can lose out. Now pay attention to this. If you're buying and you're laddering in as you're coming towards the downside, okay, it trades in waves. So that's why I said figure out what your investment is going to be, how much you can put into it. Wait for the opportunity, all right? So that's what we did. We waited for the opportunity. So our opportunity arose the other day when we set it on the 14th, okay? And then when we hit it, what day was that? That was on the 10th and the 9th, all right? So on the 9th when you're watching, we're talking about it. And then on the 10th, you know, pulling down. So I've been doing more videos and getting on the daily. We'll start getting them scheduled so that way you guys can see them at a certain time of day. So that way we can start growing an audience because I want everybody to be able to learn and make money. And there's also going to be some really cool bullish stuff that's going to be happening out there, all right? And some opportunities for you guys to learn because we want to be able to, you know, push and do what we can out there in the markets, all right? So this is something that I'm paying attention to, okay? So as you can see, all right, we've been actually, you know, pulling below that 50 EMA range, okay? And this is where you ladder in, and that's what I was telling you about, you know, utilizing different, you know, different times of your investment, all right? So that's something that you want to pay attention to, all right? So make sure that you swing on over into the different Telegram groups so that way you can talk about it and you can rock about it because we're going to have a lot of different stuff happening out there, okay? We have media sites and we have all kinds of stuff that's going to be happening out there in the market. And then also you can go check out the BBC, okay? Blockchain, okay? And B exchange and all the different links in there. Make sure to get in those chats if you want to follow, if you want to build, okay, and if you want to get with it. So make sure you guys get on over there because there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening, a lot of different opportunities, and you know, we're out here to you know, teach and you know, help and you know, basically, you know, share the news, rock out for you guys, you know. don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit it. All right. And yeah, we got all of the different stuff out there pushing, and you guys are definitely rocking with it, and that's cool. All right. So we talked about that, and then also any other things that you guys want to talk about or you guys want to learn, out there in the markets, you could just let me know, because it's definitely flexibility and loving to teach you guys and train and all kinds of different stuff and being part of a community as a whole. All right, so we're definitely paying attention to the markets and how they're moving, okay, and what is happening. And then actually we'll go look. And then the other day we were using Bookmap. If you guys like Bookmap, just let me know in the comments below, and then we can utilize Bookmap much more as we go. All right, so that's definitely what's going on. We talked about the big news, BlackRock ETF. And that's what's actually pushing the market over there. There's a lot of different videos, a lot of different people talking about it, and you guys can get more information about it. If you want me to start talking about more in-depth stuff, that is something that I can do for you guys. But you guys, just let me know how you feel, what you need to see, and where you want to go from there. Utilizing CMC for our coin markets and different kind of stuff like that, and hopping on over to our charts and learning. All right, so I will try to give you guys pointers, and the more that you listen and learn and figure out and utilize these different indicators, the better that you can get in the market and in trading, okay? All right, guys, you've been chilling and rocking with Jay's Strategies, where we talk about the latest and greatest crypto